left to right across your screens and radios, but it's Clark who wins back the opening draw. Brant Harper has possession, joined on the back end by Richard Baran. And now here's Luka Radivojevic near side for Nestrasil. Baran looks to keep it in and does. Battle for possession on the near side wall. Won by Baran for a moment. Goes down the wall for Clark. Met by David Klee. He works up the near side and finds Baran at the blue line. Fired. Held on to by Toll. Gets it behind the net. Near side, Drew Stewart. Stewart centers in front. Is taken away by Theo Kiss. Kiss from the near side wall. Fires onto Gadziev. Got a piece of the glove, but trickles to the far side wall.
Gadziev 3 for 3. Had a couple of interesting chances. Screenshot there, and then had a rebound that he had to stop as well early on. So he's in the game for sure.
Baran drops off for Kiss. Theo Kiss works up the far side at the red line, ships in. Then when you see the replay, you can chalk it up to the production company for getting that too. Dexheimer up to Deputy. Deputy looks to clear the zone but can't. Now he does. Alstead was there, but Baran drops back for it. Taken by the Jacks. Here's Lawrence 2-on-1. Near side, Tynan Lawrence fires a shot. POP goes to Stefanik. Now here's Dexheimer. One-timer high and wide. Far side corner, Tynan Lawrence. On the wall, met by Brant Harper, the future Michigan Wolverine. And now here comes Jastrzewski.
Lee Scarbo and, of course, Shikabut Gadziev in the Muskegon net.
Here's Baran near side. Looks to keep it in and does. On the near side wall, it comes back out with Deputy. Chips it down the ice. Lawrence shading over, but so did Brant Harper to send it back to the Muskegon end. Here's Nate Deladonna. Called games for his older brother Andrew in the North American League a couple of seasons ago. Nate, here in the USHL, representing the Bucks in the red, white, and blue.
He played for Bishop Kearney Selects, a team that I work for from a PR perspective from afar, if you will. So I've got to know him a little bit the last couple of years.
Over in nearby Rochester, New York.
Yes, in fact, you are correct.
Here's Cooper Pearson, another big check from the Lumberjacks. The legs are buzzing. The blood is flowing. Third game of the weekend doesn't matter. Kurt Kirkin takes it away. Fires a shot. Big rebound. Back out. Another shot blocked. Pearson pulled the trigger, but now Veo to Radivojevic. To the far side, Luka works down the wall, still with it on his backhand. Now curls up the far side and finds his partner Veo. Xavier fires. Blocked in traffic. That was the tall defenseman Piepenberg. Now Chris fires wide. Piepenberg takes it near side and clears it the length of the ice. Enough mustard for icing? I think so.
To watch the draft when you have some skin in the game, when you've seen these guys. That's one of my biggest promotions for coming out to watch the USHL is just you're going to see these guys before they become guys at the next level. And for me, that's just exciting as a hockey fan.
Here's Dexheimer up the far side, knocked out of midair, but taken by Baran. D to D, looks for his partner Harper. Pressured by Van Blaricom. Harper fumbles the puck, able to recover, find Baran. His pass, not a lot of juice on it, but it's picked up anyway by Zelensky. Now Kernan from a tough angle looking to open the scoring, but Shika Gadziev had other ideas. Barrett Dexheimer off the wall for Van Blaricom, across the way for Spitznagel. Teddy gets it deep, takes a bump, but gets off for a change. Sagan, Les Carbo, far side Zelensky. Off the wall for Clark. To the neutral zone, it comes for Xavier Veo. Here's Brizgalov. Yaroslav Brizgalov. Matt, believe he's the son of Ilya Brizgalov.
I was going to ask, and I'm glad you informed me on that one. One of my favorite players of all time, Ilya Brizgalov.
A great personality. Told me how to pronounce Luka's last name. He saw Bronco when Pete was the voice of the Plymouth Whalers way back in the day. And Pete will get a chance to say Luka's name again this Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. Kids Day game at USA Hockey Arena. Puck comes out for Spitznagel, but it's carried out by Jastrzewski. And now here's Alstead working on Lance. Drops off for Shaw. To change as Seelinger entered the offensive zone. Kernan and Stefanik behind the Jacks cage. Now it's Radivojevic. Across for Veo. David Deputy avoids the check from Kiss, who now takes the puck. Fires a nice save off the glove of Gadziev. Near side corner. Kiss. No stick and
no
one glove. Does a good job helping his team keep it in, though. He now goes back to the bench while Veo reverses for Radivojevic. Near side, Baran keeps it in. Numbers in the offensive zone. 4-on-2. Turns into a shot from Alstead, but Looks ahead for Alstead, regained by Nestrasil, leads a 2-on-2 rush. Nestrasil centers for Galanic, poked off his stick by the defenseman, but here's Bauer-Berry. Fires towards the cage, high and wide, but was just designed to get the puck deep, allowing Nestrasil to go to work. He chases to the far side, met by Shaw, who loses his stick. Berry looks to keep it in, but is taken out by Jasper Strebsky, met by Cooper Pearson. Jack's in the midst of a line change. Kernan enters the offensive zone. Jack Kernan to the far side, finds Seelinger in the corner. Now here's Dexheimer. Up the far side, kept into the blue line by Brant Harper. Future Michigan Wolverine will play college hockey in nearby Ann Arbor. Zielinski now. Across the way for Kernan. Down for Seelinger. Glove down and held on to. You don't have to mix up your line for a mid-season tournament. You might have to at the end of the month when World Juniors comes around, but for now, you're good.
It's a nice problem to have, and we have our first penalty of the game, but the scoring 3 or 4 in this period, to be honest, but just hasn't gone your way. But a lot of good things, both at even strength and during the power play.
75 seconds to go in the frame. Just like every intermission, we'll have an intermission report. I got to go downstairs and host a little activity before then. I think it's a ugly sweater contest. But first, Jake Toll finds Nestrasil. Vaslav near side. Cycles down low for Galanic, gets it back. It's poked out by Seelinger. And now here's Jake Toll. Sends it back to the near side corner. First one on it, Jack Christ to the far side. Christ to the near side. Danny Clares to the blue line, keeps it in. Clares down for Van Blaricom. It comes back up the wall. Seelinger clears the zone. And Jake Toll comes over for it. Rosemount, Minnesota native in his own end finds Danny Clares. The two go back with each other. Half a minute to go in the frame. Jack Christ out of Chaska, Minnesota. Played high school hockey at Chanhassen last year. Taken by Clark. The offensive zone, 3 on. Guys are back on the ice. We're ready to go for the second. It's time to stop talking about the past and talk about the here and now. The second period underway. Jack's won the draw. Now here's Radovojevic up for Nestrasil. He sends it deep. Say again, Les Carbone leaves it behind his net. Harper taken away by Nestrasil far side. And now here's Jack Galanic. Up the far side wall. Radovojevic never reached him. Theo Kiss took it away. Clark. Back to Kiss, far side, near side. Deladonna back for Clark. A nice save. Puck's loose on his backside in the back of the net. Inside it's Shaw. Takes it near side and cycles down low for Alstead. Behind the net to the far side corner. Popped out in front. Godziev able to hold on.
Augustana, which is a newcomer to D1 in the last couple of years.
Have you seen that Midco arena that they built out there?
No, I have not.
They're in Sioux Falls, right by the Stampede. They built a brand new facility. It is A+. Easton Young, Lumberjacks alum, who was here last year playing for Augustana this season. Well, here come the Buccaneers. It's led by Blake Zielinski, future Providence Friar, but taken back by Jack Christ. Across the way, Cooper Pearson holds on his forehand and fires into the glove. U.S. and Canada under 25 years old.
Might have been under 23 even, but I'm not actually sure about that.
Well, these guys are all under 23. The guy that fired it, definitely for sure, that was Ryan Seelinger, a 2005 birth year out of Illinois. Stewart looks to clear the zone and does. Committed to Notre Dame out of, I believe, Illinois. Drew Stewart, one of the newer Lumberjacks. How about Minnetonka, Minnesota? Played at, not Minnetonka, I'll have the name. It's off the tip of my tongue right now. While it goes back to Danny Clares. Clares up to Teddy Spitznagel. Clares, by the way, he played at Minnetonka. Stewart pushes on goal. Official had his whistle in his mouth as if he was going to call the penalty and kept the play continuing. Here comes Seelinger across for Kernan. 12:35 to go in this second period. Godziev pokes it to the corner. It comes back onto him. Kernan, a train named Klee, is on his way down. Baran sends back to the offensive zone. Here's Reese Lance for the Lumberjacks, though it's regained by Gross-Klaus and sent in. Bauer-Berry to the near side finds Vaslav Nestrasil, one of the tallest guys in the USHL. Nestrasil, 6'5". Finds Tynan Lawrence, the offensive end, the lone goal scorer so far today. But it comes back with Des Moines. Carried in by Yasser Zebski. Cuts across to the far side. Fired on to Godziev, a blocker save. Picked up by Nestrasil, sent down the ice. And that will almost certainly be icing it is. Halfway through this contest, out of Liassienne, Lorette, Quebec, Canada. Veo committed to Cornell. Plays up the near side for Pearson. Across the center ice logo to the near side for Christ. Sent down around the wall. First one on it. The defenseman wearing 5, Richard Baran. Fired on by Dexheimer. And it's
The colors.
I've maintained since day one of my time in the USHL. The Bucks have some of the best branding in the USHL. And the jerseys, the black ones they wear, phenomenal. Here comes Clee, short 2-on-1, throws out in front for Christ, but it goes to Sanderson on the wall. Now Christ holds and sends it down low. Clee, the first one on it, lets it go for Sanderson on the near side. Reverse check on Kernan. Sanderson keeps the puck, continues up the wall, and finds Toll. His shot is blocked. Clee gets it behind the net. Thrown out for Christ. Collides with the netminder. Whistles 0.1%. The power play unit for the Buccaneers. Middle of the pack, ninth at 17.3%. Seelinger looks up the near side. Clark works the middle of the ice. Jastrzewski has a power play goal against the Lumberjacks this season. Gets it side of the net. Pops out for Seelinger. Couldn't pull the trigger on the one-timer, and the pass goes down the ice. Already 25 seconds gone on the Des Moines power play. Here's Clark. Sent to the Muskegon zone, taken by Toll, and again sent down the ice. Well, there's Andrea Rose you see on your screen behind the Des Moines net. Her son, Cohen, played in a tournament this weekend, made the championship game today. So she got a quick late start to the Lumberjacks action. We'll have to see how Hamilton did for the Lakeshore Junior Lumberjacks.
Sunday, a big day for youth hockey. I was on the ice with my son this morning as well.
Pop back out, middle of the ice, and how'd your son do?
Well, he's just in cross ice, so he got a couple of goals.
We love that. A couple goals are good. Jastrzewski looking for one, but wouldn't go, and now Clark. Near side, it comes for Clee. Searless gets it back towards the goal, but it's taken away by Clares. Now Clee across the way. Regained by Searless, kept in by Harper. Good bump from Nestrasil, and Clares keeps it on the far side for Jake Toll. Up for Nestrasil, off the wall, kept in by Harper. Nestrasil lays a check while here's Jake Toll. Up the near side, kept in by Zielinski. Toll loses an edge, gets it to the neutral zone, but carried back in by Zielinski offside. Office league. I'm beating the defending champ Mike Sontag, who's now at Oakland University. I'm beating him. Andrea is losing to Sean Bite, business development exec, and Calvin is projected to beat Jess. Game presentation against ticket sales. Here's Pearson to the offensive zone. Gherkin pushes down low. Obviously, there's a big prize for the winner and punishment for the loser if I have my scoreboard pulled up on my screen. Pearson across. Gherkin the shot. Blocker save. Rebound trickles in the crease.
You got to just lay off. You just have to. So I can see both sides of the argument.
100%. Just a little biased up here, though.
Oh, yes.
Just a little.
We are. It's going to happen.
Baran holds on in his own zone. Not enough time in the period to carry the power play to the third period. There's a lot. There's a lot to talk about. We haven't hit the election yet.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we will.
Been so
Kernan
relieved
takes it
to not be
back
talking
in.
about it the last several weeks.
Kernan brought it back in, now brought it out. Seelinger has it, and it comes back to the near side for Kernan. Up the middle of the ice, Jack Kernan, the Buccaneer leading point scorer, gets it back from the man outside, Jastrzewski, who keeps it in on the half side. Wall. Down low for Kernan. Pass knocked away by Toll. Seelinger looks to clear it. Down low, but it's kept in by Clark. Jastrzewski met by Veo with pace. Buck 10 to go on the power play. David Clee sends it the length of the ice. Galenic and Clee get off, so does Toll. They're replaced by Dexheimer, Nestrasil, and Stewart. Veo replaced by Bauer-Berry. To the near side comes Baran, hinges backwards for Kernan, now gets it back on the near side. Here comes Theo Kiss, the offensive zone. Looks for Clark, won't get him. Instead, it goes to the far side for Alstead. Kernan, far side, top of the circle, near side, finds Theo Kiss. Kiss, looking at his options, goes across the way for Alstead. Britton Alstead, down to the corner, with Xavier Veo.
It feels like a matter of time for the Jacks. They're all over it. They've had so many looks, just missing on a couple of opportunities during that power play.
Radivojevic up to Pearson, now Gherkin. Looks to center, it does. From his stomach, finds Jack Christ. Now Cooper Pearson, nice move. Coop, they call him, curls around the slot, fires a shot into the glove of the netminder. That's
Too, I feel badly.
a lot of really talented French Canadians here in the USHL. Of course, the Lumberjacks have Xavier Veillot, and last season, Sacha Boisvert. Never spelled the way it sounds. Boisvert is spelled Boisvert. At least Seguin Lescarbot is pretty close to how it sounds.
Well, if you're around hockey long enough, it just becomes second nature, though, those French names. You get used to it.
French and Russian names. Shika Butin-Gadziev, who makes a blocker save, finds Matthew Van Blaricom on the near side. The rebound gets chipped down the ice. Here's Harper. That was a nice and easy one. Brant Harper.
It is.
Out of Tampa, Florida.
Well, I can't talk. My last name's ridiculous. So easy to say, hard to spell.
6th through the first period at Young Arena in Waterloo, Iowa. The Lumberjacks took on the Hawks earlier this year. Actually, the same weekend they saw the Buccaneers. They'll see the Hawks later this year in this building. 2-on-1 led by the defenseman. Jake Toll near side. Nice move. Better save from ESL. Puck goes out of play. Bucks can't change. By way of the Sioux Falls Stampede, big reason for the Lumberjacks' arrival in the Eastern Conference Finals. Lawrence, a wraparound, goes off the bottom of the cage. Here's Deputy, who cycles it down low for him, though in the way, Jack Kernan clears it to the neutral zone. From his knees, Toll looks to keep it in. Trickles out, but he sends it back down low. Seguin Lescarbot leaves it off for the defenseman Baran. Now on the far side, it's controlled by Harper. Up the wall, taken by Toll, but with Stefanik deep in the zone, just sends back in. Here comes Seelinger. Near side wall on his forehand, turns and fires. He was moving left to right across his crease. The other forward for the Jacks right now on this shift, by the way, Drew Stewart. Dyer away from Stewart, taken back by Spitznagel. Dyer recovers. Pinned against the wall in front of his own bench, sends it down low to the Lumberjacks zone. Des Moines starts a line change. They change 2 of 5. Dexheimer, fresh on the ice, centers for Spitznagel. In front of his own bench, takes a hard bump. Stewart returns the favor on a Buccaneer, but here's Jack Kernan. To Baran near side. Across the way, off the wall, taken by Stewart. Joined by Van Blaricom on the rush, sends it behind the net. Jack Kernan, near side, Baran. And now here comes Des Moines down the ice. Seelinger met by Dexheimer. Nice play by Dexheimer, sends Van Blaricom the other way. Short, 2-on-1, fired, and sticked aside. Seguin Lescarbot played it up the middle of the ice, and it comes out of the zone with some help from Zielinski.
Great shot from Van Blaricom. He got all of that wrister.
Yeah, that is what MVP
Differences go. Some of the old guard teams as well had to adjust, and it was musical chairs for a while there in college hockey. Now it seems pretty settled, and now we're adding some new squads like St. Thomas, Augustana. We've seen Long Island as well. So it's just great to see college hockey expanding in that way.
We are at the forefront of what is going to be the greatest change in junior and college hockey in the history of the sport.
Yep, obviously didn't even talk about the news from this fall, right? With eligibility changes coming up. It's going to really benefit college hockey, I know that.
Here comes Jazrostrebski to the offensive zone. Played out in front. Joining the rush was the defenseman Richard Baran. So the puck gets to the blue line, and it's easily down the ice. Here comes Kurt Gherkin, the latest goal scorer for the Jacks, behind the net to the far side. Another wraparound attempt. This time, the legs were closed from ESL.
He was going for the backhand wrap this time. A little extra difficulty.
32 routine saves, Matt.
No, another one where he is sprawled out, and I think that might have actually been a pass from Deputy that ESL stopped. So it might get credited as a shot.
Oh, big hit by David Klee on Conlon. Sorry to interrupt you. The train was coming through again.
That's at least 3 big ones for him in that very same spot right in front of the penalty boxes.
You know who's got the best view of it? That's Lee Andrews, the public address announcer.
Got to do that job last year, and that was a lot of fun. I love being down close, not for game calling purposes, but just to experience the physicality and the speed of the game.
Top junior players in the world going at it here at Trinity Health Arena. Veillot, one of them, steps up. His number 6, Zielinski, the Berlin, New Jersey native that were a little offended you didn't say New Jersey.
Sorry about that. Are they on the rise too?
They are. John Farinacci, Lumberjacks alum, currently in Providence, the American League, New Jersey native as well. Here comes Van Blaricom. He takes a bump. Also, Jackson alum Justin Solove over in Harvard this year. To the blue line, here's Dexheimer. Steps into a shot. Redirected by Spitsney. Oh, I think you said that. Did you say that?
I did, yes.
He was there when his brother Andrew was in the Generals organization in the NA when I started my post-college broadcasting career with them. Here's Seelinger. Met by Klee. Pushed ahead for Nestor Silva. Regained by Baran. Offside. Seelinger never...
Passes don't handcuff you.
You know, I got to be honest with you. David Klee is the perfect captain, and I've got to tell you, a lot of the young guys here, because they're willing to drop the gloves and know how to stay safe when doing so. Look at that gritty effort, by the way, from Nestor Silva, from his stomach to keep possession in favor of his team. And it's not just the fighting. It's the face-off taking as well. It's the positioning in the middle of the ice. Rudy Burrs-Collins is going to learn a lot from playing with David Klee, a guy with a similar style, similar size, and another centerman that's going to dictate the middle of the ice for years to come here in the USHL and with the Lumberjacks. Here comes Nestor Silva to the offensive zone, pressured by Harper. Delayed penalty. Claire slowly gets back to his feet, and as Des Moines touches up,